WWE finds itself in a complicated situation just days before one of its biggest shows of the year, SummerSlam, because a major match involving top stars is suddenly in jeopardy. What's worse is that the entire situation has led to a flood of miscommunication and confusion across social media, with fans unsure what to believe. SummerSlam 2025 is almost here. It's happening this weekend over 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday, and WWE has stacked the card with matches that appeal to every kind of fan. They've included major championship bouts, dramatic storyline payoffs, and just enough celebrity involvement to give it some mainstream sizzle. But now, the spotlight has turned to a potential problem that could derail a featured match involving Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, and Jelly Roll. To WWE's credit, this match isn't being treated as the main event. Instead, it's slotted as an undercard attraction, with the main event for Night 1 being CM Punk vs. Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, a match that has serious potential to steal the show. Still, the tag match involving Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton and Jelly Roll has caught fire online due to uncertainty over McIntyre's availability. Over the weekend, McIntyre posted a video update across various platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. In that update, he revealed that he had traveled to Great Britain for a wedding and was having major issues returning to the US. Specifically, he tried to board his flight using his UK passport, a document he's traveled with countless times in the past without any issue, but this time, he was denied boarding. It's strange, especially considering he has been living in the United States for years and is a resident of Nashville. Drew has done this many times before, so why is it suddenly a problem now? The timing couldn't be worse. With only a few days left before SummerSlam, fans are rightfully concerned whether Drew will make it back in time for his match. According to PW Insider, this is not a scripted situation, it's a real logistical issue. However, Fightful Select reports that WWE officials remain optimistic and believe that the matter can be resolved quickly. That said, they're not thrilled about the chaos it's causing. This match, while not essential to the overall SummerSlam event, is still something fans were looking forward to. The chemistry between the 4 men has made for a fun build-up, and the addition of Jelly Roll in his in-ring debut added some extra buzz. But now fans are freaking out over the possibility of Drew McIntyre being a no-show. People online are tossing around all sorts of theories. Some think WWE will simply turn the match into a handicap bout, Logan Paul vs. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Others wonder if they might delay the match by 1 night, shifting it from Saturday to Sunday. There's also speculation that the match could be outright cancelled or changed into a singles bout, maybe Orton vs. Paul or Jelly Roll vs. Logan. Right now, nothing is confirmed. Keep in mind, it's only Monday. WWE has the entire week to work things out, so even if McIntyre can't make it until later this week, they do have the flexibility to move things around thanks to the 2-night format. In previous years, when SummerSlam was only 1 night, this kind of flexibility didn't exist. But this year, WWE has a bit of breathing room, so while fans are panicking, it's likely that everything will get sorted out in time. The company is probably having backup plans and alternative match formats in case McIntyre doesn't make it. From a storyline perspective, the feud has been booked pretty evenly. There hasn't been a clearly dominant team. Both sides have taken turns looking strong, which is usually a sign that WWE wants to keep things balanced until the actual match happens. For instance, Drew recently delivered a Claymore kick to Jelly Roll at Saturday night's main event, which got a big pop. On the other side, Jelly Roll got some revenge by putting Logan Paul through a table, an impressive visual that aired on a late-night TV appearance. So the back-and-forth nature of the feud has made it feel competitive and unpredictable. Still, if we're being honest, the outcome seems relatively easy to predict. This feels like a match designed to give Randy Orton and Jelly Roll a win. It's Jelly Roll's first match, and WWE loves to give celebrities a strong showing their first time in the ring. It's hard to imagine them booking his debut just to have him lose. Also, Randy Orton is coming back from an injury and could use a feel-good win in front of a major crowd. So while Logan and Drew are credible threats, it seems likely the babyfaces will stand tall when it's over. Now, for those fans saying this entire Drew passport situation is part of the storyline, that it's a work designed to generate buzz, it doesn't really add up. There isn't much benefit to creating fake drama for this particular match. It's not a main event. It's not a career-altering stipulation. It's an undercard celebrity tag match. So why go through the trouble of pretending Drew is stuck overseas? WWE doesn't need to do that to get attention for this match. Plus, there's too much real-world confusion involved for this to be part of the script. It just doesn't feel like a work. It feels like something unexpected actually happened, and WWE is doing its best to adjust. That said, this situation oddly fits Drew McIntyre's current character. For over a year now, Drew has leaned into his frustrations with WWE, both on screen and off screen. He's become a heel, but not in a cartoonish way. He's portrayed as someone who has legitimate complaints. And when you blur the lines between real-life frustration and wrestling storyline, you get a character that feels authentic. Drew's promos, his actions, his attitude, it all comes across like a guy who has a right to be mad. He's doing excellent work in that role. He's taken his personal experiences and used them to fuel his character. He talked about this in depth recently during his appearance on the Impulsive podcast, hosted by Logan Paul. During the conversation, Drew was asked the usual question about the differences between working for Vince McMahon and Triple H. It's a common topic when top-level talent do interviews these days, but Drew's answer was insightful. He said that Vince saw him as a warrior figure, someone who would march into battle, sword and all, and fight as a noble babyface. That was Vince's vision, and it makes sense. Vince has always gravitated toward characters like that, larger-than-life heroes like Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, John Cena, or Roman Reigns. But Triple H has a different approach. He wants to tap into something deeper. He doesn't just want surface-level warriors. He wants to know what's underneath, what's driving the person inside. And that's where this new version of Drew McIntyre comes from. Triple H gave him the creative freedom to explore that darker, more cynical part of himself. And it's worked. This current Drew character is layered. It's not just about winning or losing. It's about a guy who feels like he's been overlooked, like the company hasn't appreciated him, and he's taking matters into his own hands. That's why the blending of real life and fiction is working so well. The best wrestling storylines are the ones where fans can't tell if what they're watching is scripted or spontaneous. You want people to sit on their couches and genuinely ask, "Wait, is this real?" That's the sweet spot. That's when you know you've got them hooked. And that's exactly what's happening with Drew right now. Is he stuck in the UK? Probably. Is it going to affect the match? Maybe. But is it also strangely perfect for his character arc? Absolutely. So now we're all just waiting to see what happens next. Will WWE announce a change? Will McIntyre make it back in time? Will they shift the match to Sunday? Will they pull a last-minute swerve and replace Drew with someone else? All those options are on the table. And honestly, that unpredictability adds a little extra intrigue to SummerSlam weekend. Not everything in wrestling needs to be neat and tidy. Sometimes, the chaos is what makes it compelling. And regardless of what happens, fans are still getting a loaded show. CM Punk vs. Gunther is one of the most anticipated matches in recent memory. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, and plenty of other top stars are all booked to appear. So even if the tag match changes, SummerSlam is still going to deliver. But it would be a shame if Drew's match had to be scrapped or altered significantly, especially considering how well he's performed lately. He's earned his spot, and it would be unfortunate if something as avoidable as a passport technicality messed it all up. So, what do you think? Will Drew McIntyre make it back in time for SummerSlam? Do you think Jelly Roll will get the win in his debut match? And how do you feel about WWE including him in the show in the first place? Fans seem divided, some love the crossover appeal, others think it's unnecessary. Either way, the match has people talking, and that's what WWE ultimately wants. Whether you're excited, nervous, or just plain curious, all eyes will be on how this story plays out in the days leading up to SummerSlam.